Man, the power of that V10, whew, it's a smooth, torquey beast. I got it for $8,500. This is my 92 F-150. I've had it for a few years now. It's been my truck. I've wanted something above a half ton for a while. This right here is a 2008 Super Duty Triton V10 4x4 long bed. I bought this truck from the original owner. Costco Michelin's $1,000. Heated cab mounts, drive belt, fuel pump and sending unit, fuel evaporative canister, TPMS sensors, basically all new AC system. Remove and replace spark plugs. And they did valve cover gaskets, remanufactured alternator, $566 for a windshield. That very nice, beautiful paint matched custom camper shell. That was $4,995. That was $5,000. Rear pads and rotors. This is $15,000 in receipts. Just this pile, I added it up. It's $15,000. That's just from 2021 to now. Right after I bought this car, I discovered that there was a service history record about the oil pressure indication being low sometimes, and that was a couple years ago, and they replaced the sending unit, and I thought, well, that's a little bit alarming, to be honest. So yesterday I drove it for actually maybe the first time since I bought it, and I noticed, in fact, twice for very brief periods when I got to a stoplight, the oil pressure gauge would go down and the light would come on just for a second. Doesn't have any oil on the dipstick. It could have oil pressure issues in the engine. It's got 343,000 on it. Now I bought it assuming the engine was fine, but I paid a price for it that was reflective of the ultra high mileage. So there was some oil in it. Yeah, so like we're done draining. Yikes. Yeah, there's like a quart of oil in this pan, and our V10 here takes, yeah, like 6.75 or 7 for a 3-valve pickup. Oh, Elton, didn't he just sell us? Didn't Elton had a place in Atlanta, didn't he? Didn't he just sell it? It was black as hell. But I don't see nothing in it. No sparklies. Maybe we had a couple sparklies. Is that a sparklies string? None of them are just bubbles. We got some swirlies. We got a little bit of swirlies in there. But for the most part, I'm not getting a whole ton of sparklies. Yeah, I'm not seeing any antifreeze signs. Yeah, I think we got like some veins of wear metals. Yeah, we do. If you look real close. And how am I gonna do this? Yeah, I think that's what that probably is. There's a little bit, but it ain't nothing. And this right here is Mobil 1, high mileage, fully synthetic, 5W30. I've been driving this thing around today. Picked up a trailer. The brakes are not good right now. So the brakes are weak. They have a lot of fade, and I'm smelling brake. You know, the brake smell. Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, we got smoke. Yeah, our truck is gonna be out of commission till we get this figured out. What is the problem with all this? Is it the caliper itself or the hose? Those are the two common culprits. Yeah, so I was going to pull into the garage, and I'm actually starting to come to a different conclusion as far as our brake problems. And now again, it feels like too firm and I hear hissing. So let's try and drive it. Yeah, so I like the brakes barely work. I've only driven it into my driveway from that carport. So the brakes have not had time to heat up. So we don't have a brake overheating issue yet. And yet this truck, it like does not stop. It has like no braking power at all. Listen, can you hear that? What's happening now is the pedal is not going down very much. It's very high effort to push it. Yeah, like when you press the pedal, it barely goes down at all, and then it stops, and it's very high effort. And there's a distinct vacuum sound emanating. I just think it's a brake booster. All right, so our oil level is topped off. It took like 2 quarts. Yeah, 2 quarts. I think I've driven this 100 miles since I changed the oil. So 2 quarts every 100 miles. Like, oh, carry the teaspoon. Like, no, that's the actual number, Jack. You bought a truck with a blown engine. Anyways, we're V10 shopping. What guy doesn't want to go V10 shopping, right? So I went on the internet and I just happened to Google, you know, Ford V10 Triton or whatever this is called, you know, excessive oil consumption. And the first thing that people say, and pretty universal advice for any engine really, is, you know, PCV valve. Replace your, or check your PCV valve. And so I learned that on Ford V10s after 2005, it's actually the PCV valve is integrated with the valve cover. If I put my hand here on the oil fill, yeah, I'm pulling a vacuum on my hand. And then if I blow, so yeah, I blow through this hole. So this, what I would call, I mean, this PCV valve, like, it doesn't do anything per se. Yeah, I don't know if there's any way that we can attempt to refurbish this in the vehicle, or if we just have to buy a new valve cover a whole new valve cover for the passenger side. I mean, I would love to avoid it. Brake hose, brake caliper, booster. Based on our symptoms, I'm confused. I don't know what's happening. What about, does this? Oh, well. I just released the parking brake on myself. Felt its warm embrace. Like one of them weighted blankets. No, I didn't think anyone was gonna touch me ever. Then that parking brake just came up and slapped me in the shoulder. I said, well, at least someone loves me. Somebody will touch me again. I just gotta flip a car first and get a few dollars in my wallet. Love is fake, so you might as well find something you can hate, and I hate Fords. Oh, and there's a damn another one? Give me a break. It's such a nice day outside. All right, well, hopefully that gives us enough clearance. All right, attempting to, all right, brake lines are free. Let's all get on the same page. You and me. I wonder what the core charge on this damn thing was. Now, how did all this go? This is the part where I need more paper towels, isn't it? So as you have now probably deduced, we are now going to attempt to remove the valve cover in an attempt to salvage the PCV valve. I'm already regretting doing all this. I'm like, maybe 2 quarts every 100 miles is like not that bad. How good are they on there? They're on there good. Okay. Torque spec memorized. Now the dipstick has got to detach the trans dipstick. That's probably enough clearance to get it out, huh? Really, it's just the three at the back that are tough. For those that are back there, especially the one by the AC parts, I recommend one of these. Well, it may not be out of the woods just yet. What are we hanging on? Up and out. Get a good look at everything. See some sludge and stuff in there. You know, this is a 343-mile engine with, and who knows what the oil change history on it is like. But this is our camshaft. All right, so my phone cut off, but basically, here's where we're at. I can blow through this or suck through it with zero resistance. Whatever is in here, this PCV valve doesn't seem to be doing anything as far as I can tell. I've tried tapping it. I've tried carb cleaner. I can't seem to loosen this up. Now maybe I'm totally wrong and this is the way this is actually designed, but I'm pretty sure a PCV valve, you're not supposed to be able to just blow or suck through it like a straw with zero resistance. So what I found out when my phone died or whatever, this has a 2023, this is a Ford Motor Company valve cover. This is a brand new valve cover. Well, it's 2023. It's a new valve cover. The one on the driver's side is not new. It's OEM. You can tell it's old. It's been there a while. So oil light comes on when vehicle is stopped and oil pressure drops. Okay? So what I noticed here was that they changed the oil pressure sending unit thing. Well, maybe it's that. And in fact, they replaced the valve cover. Just the right valve cover and gasket. That was 6,000 or 7,000 miles ago. I don't think there's a PCV valve in here at all. I think it's more of a metered orifice. I do not think that there is a check valve in here, a rattler like an old PCV valve. I don't think that that's actually in this valve cover. I believe that is the reason why Ford deemed it non-serviceable. And yeah, the moral of the story is I didn't even bother replacing this valve cover. All right, so it looks like we are like just above full. The oil level is now topped off. But yeah, we're gonna drive this thing around a little bit and see how much it's burning. I'm not the first person to learn this the hard way. If you dig deeper on the internet, you will find other people who have had the same experience of taking it off, realizing it's not even a valve, it's not even a check valve, it's not a replaceable item for a reason. But the vast majority, if you just Google it, the vast majority of what's gonna come back to you is, if you have the one with the integrated valve cover, replace the whole valve cover. It's not good advice. I'm not the first person to realize, I'm not the first person to screw up and do it. And I'm not even the first person to do it on this exact truck, because 2 years ago, some shop in Marietta did the exact same thing I did. They replaced a whole valve cover unit, chasing a oil burning issue. All right, so our oil is topped off. We think our brakes are fixed. We are going to start driving this thing, start putting some miles down. I am going to reset the trip odometer as soon as I can figure out how to do that. All right, so we've put a whopping 25.9 miles on the truck. Time to read them and weep. The brakes, I think, are fixed. The brakes are great. They feel good. They're not overheating. It's right there on the full circle. All right, so I'm heading to Bowden today. I'm doing a Bowden to Lithonia to home run. And so that'll be probably a couple hundred miles. Be a great test of the oil consumption and also if our brakes are fixed. Yeah, at this point, about the only thing wrong with this truck is no phone input. You know, we're all such phone addicts now. I can't be happy without my cell phone. I'm listening to FM radio. I mean, what am I gonna do? It's a real mood killer. You know, I can't, it's just gets me down in the dumps. This is not kosher! Rock the Casbah, rock the Casbah. All right, we have now put 200.6 miles on the truck. After I first changed the oil and topped it off, this thing burned exactly 2 quarts in exactly 100 miles. So we've now gone 200 miles. After retopping off the oil, we should have burned 4 quarts. Let's see how many quarts we burned. Freedom and wheat. I've got a hunch that I know exactly how many quarts of oil this thing burned. And I'll give you a hint. I'm thinking of a very round number that isn't between 1 and 10. Right there on the upper circle. Right there. Right there. I hope that's visible. It's perfect. Hasn't burned a single drop in 200 miles. All right, so the bottom line is we got us a truck. Seems to be working, seems to be serviceable. 250, V10, 4x4, extended cab long bed, really good configuration. This is the most truck I've ever had. I started out with a $100 Datsun pickup, and then I went up from there to the half-ton F-150 that I had for a while, and then now this. So I've sort of climbed the ladder in the past 10 or so years. This, I paid $8,500 for it. Kind of a gamble, because it had 343,000 on it. So that was sort of the chance that yeah, my niece painted me also, so I'm purple now. But that was essentially the gamble I took. I think it's a hell of a truck for $8,500, but I bought it with no oil on the dipstick and 343 on the odometer. So, you know, therein lies the $8,500. Now, okay, so the brakes died after I bought it. That, I think, just happened randomly. I just think the brake booster died. The only thing that I don't have a good explanation for on that is why, when that brake booster died, why did the one rear wheel overheat? I've seen it where brake boosters die and like all that causes all the wheels to drag because of internal failure of the brake booster. And that makes sense to me, but like, why when the brake booster failed did that one random wheel just overheat precipitously? I don't know if I'm using that word right, but I mean, you get what I'm trying to say. Like, how could a brake? I'm not going to keep elaborating. We fixed it. I put a brake booster on it. This thing, the brakes are fine. They're beautiful. Everything's great. Non-issue. The oil. So, I bought it with no oil on the dipstick. Had service records about an oil light coming on 2 years ago. I largely ignored all of that. Drove it till the oil light came on, and then I was like, hey, there's no oil in this. What's up? And so I put some oil in it, and then it like just consumed a bunch of it. And then I put more oil in it, and now it's fine. And also along the way, I ripped out one of the valve covers, which I don't think did anything for the problem. And herein lies the Sherlock Holmes theories. Because I don't have an answer, but I got some theories, or a theory. And I don't even think it's really a good one. But basically, my theory is runaway chain reaction and self-fulfilling prophecy. A self-fulfilling prophecy of oil consumption, if you will. I think the previous owners were clueless, lovely people. I love them, beautiful people, but I don't think that they actually knew anything at all about cars. And I think that they repeatedly ran this 343,000 mile F-250 basically without oil. God bless them. But essentially what I think happened is, first off, this thing has 344,000 on it now. It's bound to burn some oil. That's fine. That's cool. We're good with it. What I think happens is it burns a little oil and then it burns a lot of oil. In the sense of what I mean is that I think when oil burns and then it gets low, like a quarter too low, I think stuff starts to dry out, seals start to dry out, rings start to, I don't know, not have the adequate, rings start to dry out or whatever they do. And then when everything starts drying out, the oil consumption increases and it becomes a runaway chain reaction. Right? So that's what I think. I think that this truck has a moderate, manageable, maybe minimal oil burning issue. And I think the previous owners probably just didn't pay attention to it, had long oil change intervals, and let it get totally out of hand. I think Honestly, I think if I keep an eye on the oil consumption of this thing, because I only plan it, I'm only going to drive this 1,000 miles a year or 2,000 miles a year. It's not going to get much worse under my ownership. Is my point. If I keep an eye on the oil of this thing, I think it's going to be fine. And that's sort of my theory on that. I don't really think that it needs an engine at this juncture. I may sell the camper shell. I may sell it. I don't know. I've had an offer for $1,200. If I sell it for $1,000, that means that I only paid $7,500 for the truck, which is even better than $8,500. Anyways, yeah, I think it's good.